Yo, what is up everybody, and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Thursday and the markets are still finding a very strong resistance at that 107k level, as you can see right here, that where we rejected before from. We are also currently rejecting from, so the price is struggling to break above this key level. And as you can see, our RSI momentum has hit that 80 line and our momentum wave is getting overbought right here and showing a potential sell signal, as you can see right here. So basically a very key level to watch for Bitcoin, as you can see. And also if you look at the stock market is just a couple of points away from basically touching its all-time high, basically 0.2%. So the stock market is doing well, but Bitcoin is still trying to break above that range, as you can see. But in my opinion, the scenario that will be very possible is we get some kind of a rejection and correction to that POC, and then we go and break this out once the stock market potentially pushes above its all-time high. Then in my opinion Bitcoin will also follow and make a new all-time high, or maybe at least go back to its old all-time high at 111k. So this is my outlook for now. If we look at Ethereum almost broke out of this value area low and tried to stay back into its range right here, you can see. But as of right now, we lost that range again. So we need to see some kind of a bounce and a correction and a bounce. Try and get accepted back into that range for bullish continuation to the upside for Ethereum. As you can see, in order for that to happen, we also need to see Bitcoin push more to the upside, but we also need to see that Bitcoin dominance drop a little bit, since as you can see the bearish move has not started yet. The Bitcoin dominance is actually still running strong to the upside, so I'm expecting some kind of a correction potentially at these levels, the weekly pivot resistances, maybe the higher price target for the Bitcoin dominance, where I want to see last hope for rejection would be that last weekly pivot resistance, basically, in order for the altcoins to finally have their run up, because as you can see, SUI has been actually performing worse compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Basically we got rejected from this first weekly pivot resistance, and since then the price has been continuously going down, as you can see. And right now we are currently at that weekly pivot for SUI. Potentially we can find support right here and bounce. Also, if you look at Solana, the same thing goes for Solana. Solana basically got rejected from that first weekly pivot resistance, RSI going down, momentum clipping to the downside, basically that POC with our weekly pivot resistance, basically very strong resistance. So the same thing for Solana, that I'm expecting some kind of a touch of that weekly pivot and then a potential bounce. But this will only happen as long as Bitcoin also manages to break out of this range and continues to grind up. In my opinion, this will happen, as you can see, since the stock market is currently floating above all of our weekly pivot resistances, as you can see right here. And this line that I have drawn right here for the S&P 500 is, as you can see, its all-time highs. So we are actually very close to the all-time highs for the stock market, and in my opinion, if they continue, so will Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin is actually also close to its all-time high. Just in my opinion, I hope that we do not see this continuation to the downside, basically get a summer chop range like this, putting in lower highs and lower lows, basically. So this is what I do not want to see for Bitcoin. Like this is something that we got the last summer of 2024. You can see basically we did have a sideways chopping continuation during the summer, basically the whole way since we made this all-time high in March and April. Since then, the whole summer Bitcoin price action has been sideways, just making this range, as you can see. So right now things are starting, in my opinion, to unfortunately look very similar, as you can see, to this summer range. Basically, this is not like the range that we've had during the winter after we've hit 100k for the first time after Donald Trump won its presidential election, basically. So this is starting to look, as I said, more like this summer chop sideways that we've had during the last summer of 2024. So it is also potentially true possible that we are entering some kind of a chop like this. So we'll basically have a range during the summer, and then once Q4 starts, then we'll be seeing that massive continuation to the upside. But this is only my one of my predictions for now. In my opinion, if the stock market manages to break above and doesn't SFP at all-time highs, basically get a rejection from the all-time highs and drops, then I'm expecting Bitcoin basically to do its thing and break out of this range. Since if we look at the liquidation heat map, we basically still have most of that liquidity not taken out, still sitting there, and even above we've got basically liquidity all the way to 114 115k, as you can see right here. So in my opinion, still very bullish. And if we look at the Bitcoin ETF inflows, the inflows for today are another 547 million. Basically, we've had more inflows this week than we've got the past week, as you can see right now, and they're still stacking many Bitcoins and millions in Bitcoin every day. So this is still keeping the price above, well above 100k. And as I said, right now we are still in that neutral zone. So I'm expecting a potential push to the upside, and then we can get back into that grid zone, and then potentially even extreme grid. Now, if you look at the long versus shorts ratio, right now people are shorting that resistance, as you can see right here. We do have, as of right now today, after 4 days or 3 days in a row, I think, of more longs, basically more buying pressure in the market. Right now we're seeing a shift in market buying pressure. Basically right now we do have more shorts in the markets open, as you can see. We can also look at our open interest. As you can see, basically our CVD is going up and our open interest going down. So basically this suggests that there are new shorts opening into the market at these levels, basically, and they are pushing the price down. So in my opinion, but if we look at the funding rates, they are still positive in some of the major exchanges right here. So this is still very good in my opinion, and we can potentially see that continuation for Bitcoin after it manages to break out of this range. And on the daily, the RSI, in my opinion, still has potentially some more room to the upside, as well as the daily momentum wave, as you can see, basically. So my both indicators, they are still telling me that there is a potential upside and more room to push out, as you can see. As well as for the stock market, very strong momentum, and the RSI has not yet even hit that 80 line. So I'm pretty sure we are going to be hitting these new all-time highs in a matter of days or maybe even hours. Nobody can tell you that, but this is my outlook for now. So this will be it for today's update video, guys. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for the channel, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.